You are listening to ASCP Esty Talk, where we share insider tips, industry resources, and education for estheticians at every stage of the journey. Let's talk, because ASCP knows it's all about you.
Hello, and welcome to ASCP Esty Talk. I'm Cressman, licensed esthetician, certified organic skincare formulator, and content contributor for Associated Skincare Professionals.
I am Maggie, Staszcuk, licensed esthetician and ASCP's cosmetology education manager.
Hi, guys, and I'm Tracy, executive director of Associated Skincare Professionals, and I'm super excited again to be sitting here with these lovely ladies and just chiming in where necessary.
I'm glad you're both here too today because this is a really exciting, fun topic, and I think it's an important topic. I guess it might not be super fun unless
some
you're
people
doing
feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's an awkward but also good thing. Let's talk about it. Because of many contributing factors, the price of everything is going up and at an expedited pace, right? As aesthetic practitioners, we have seen an increase in the cost of everything from cotton rounds to back bar products. This means our cost per service has and continues to increase, but how about the price of our services? We know periodic price increases are normal, but how should we adjust to rapid increases in the cost of living and the cost of doing business? Have you? Are you? Will you be raising your prices in 2022? Let's discuss.
Ooh, that's what I would say about that. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that what did you guys teach in school about pricing?
That's an interesting question. I don't think it was directly addressed. We talked about know your competitors, don't price yourself out of the market, but there was no conversation about should you raise your prices? When do you raise your prices? And flat out, what should your prices be?
I think that's one of the biggest failings in schools is not having that business part.
So how I would relate to that is that I believe, and I've been in not aesthetics, but in advertising and in marketing and things of that nature, I believe that you should raise your prices every year, no matter what. Whether it is maybe this year it's 7%, maybe the year before that it was 3%. Because the bottom line is there is always some kind of hard cost that is changing and it's moving. And if you are getting your customers from the very get-go comfortable with the fact that every June, Ella's going to raise her prices, then it's expected. And honestly, it's another opportunity for you to be able to do some kind of fun push package before you raise prices.
Well, that's a great point. And I think what's interesting is from 2010 to 2019, the average rate of annual inflation was 1.77%. But according to a USA Today article, inflation has hit a 40-year high in first quarter of 2022 and is now 8.5%.
I know, it just keeps ticking up. I think like last month it was 7.8%.
Yeah, and it's not showing signs of slowing down whatsoever.
No.
So what causes inflation, like this rapid inflation? Because this is just different. I remember when I started out, I think I've told you guys this before, I took my school prices and I doubled them because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I thought, that's about right.
Logic. I like it.
Yeah. And I think I'm feeling a little insecure. I didn't want to charge top dollar because I wanted to get people in. And I thought, the self-worth was associated with my prices. And I'm just starting out, so this will be good. And ran all kinds of deals or offered all kinds of discounts and things. And if I knew then what I know now, right?
Oh, I think that's like the story of all of our lives, isn't it?
But this year, right, 2020, from 2020 on, there's been a lot of changes. What are some of them?
So inflation caused by the pandemic is American worker shortage, Russian invasion of Ukraine, raising rents, housing inventory. The industry is experiencing the perfect storm period for price increases.
Inflation caused by the pandemic means that our supplies is not readily available. So the price of gloves for us has gone up. The price for all of our PPE has gone up. The price for wax, the price for goods, especially those that are still coming from overseas.
Yeah, like towels and for your towel warmer. I'm sure there's tons of things.
Equipment.
Oh, yeah.
And even bottling for or packaging for some of the products that we carry. So our products
are back-ordered.
Yep. And they're raising prices. The worker shortage is an interesting one because this is funny to me. And I don't, I'm not an economist. I can't even say the word. I'm an economist. Obviously, I'm an esthetician. But here we want to we have no workers, so we're going to incentivize them, the workers, come work for me. I'm going to give you this benefit, this benefit, this benefit. And to offset, you have to raise prices, like a livable wage or whatsoever. So we have to raise prices of our goods. So that means in order to afford them, these people have to raise, like everybody's raising prices. The cost of living is higher, but it's still,
Well, and it's interesting because I keep waiting. So everything's more expensive. Gas to get to the place, the supplies that make the thing, the workers that work there. I keep thinking like I'm going to go to a restaurant one of these days and like no one's going to be in there. No one's going to be eating out. They're going to be like, I'm walking and I got the restaurant to myself. Nope. Every place I go, it is slamming. The reason that maybe it wouldn't be slamming is because they've only opened up one section because they don't have enough workers. Right. So like that. And I keep thinking like, I'm going to go to the mall and it's going to be like, hello. No, I am like dodging people like nobody's business. So I think that as consumers, we want to consume still.
We want to consume, and we recognize that these things are going on. Like Maggie mentioned, the Russian invasion of Ukraine has caused oil prices to go up. The raising rents has caused, people to work more, or the housing inventory has gone down. So, or the supply chains when we are available, or these restaurants that we want to go to, when we go there, we know that to go to a restaurant, we're spending a lot more than we were.
Yeah.
I wonder if what you're experiencing, Tracy, is like the lipstick effect. We're in a lot of turmoil right now.
Yes.
But going out to the restaurant, shopping at the mall, it makes us feel better.
It's true. And even if like normally I would shop at the mall and maybe I'd buy $75 worth of whatever I didn't need, maybe now I'm buying $10 worth, but I'm still walking the mall and I'm still looking around and still like oohing and eyeing.
Or you're buying from 10 different places, $10 worth of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we expect it, right? We expect the price to be different for the lipstick. We expect the price to be different for the homes. We expect now we're dealing with the fact that our gas is higher, so we expect the price to be different. And that's like what Maggie said, this is the perfect storm period for a price increase.
Yes.
I think over the years, like, I don't know if you've experienced going somewhere that had a price increase. Whenever I have increased prices, it does feel really awkward. It feels really awkward because you have to explain.
Do you have to explain, or are you explaining because you feel bad, Ella?
Well, for your self-worth, you're explaining, hey, I'm raising prices. It starts this date, and people do hem and haw. Not anymore. Have him and hawed. Oh, I don't know if I can afford it, or those things. Then that makes you feel like, oh gosh, a sense of fear that you're going to lose that person.
That's a question though. So let's say you've had a client for 20 years, and they've been getting products and facials and services from you forever. Do you have to, when they come to the checkout and you say, okay, that'll be $95? Do you have to say, and you'll probably realize that it's $10 more than it was the last time, and this is why? Or do you just say it's $95?
Well, I looked into it.
Okay.
I looked into it. Yeah.
I'm dying.
I looked into it because I
did.
wanted to understand like what's the best thing to do. And while I was looking into it, I thought, okay, this is what I was thinking about. If you're raising prices, how do you raise prices? Why do you raise prices? And to what do you raise them? And so the first thing I looked at, we live in Colorado. So I looked at the Colorado median income. And Colorado median income is higher than the national average. And I live in the Denver metro area, and that is significantly higher than any other area in the state. In fact, I think it was just reported that Denver's number 5 on one of the most expensive states under Miami, New York, San Francisco, and one other one I don't remember.
Bummer.
So
I'm just going to say.
Then I took a very unofficial Facebook poll for this group. There's about 6,000 estheticians in this Colorado group. And I wanted to understand, what are you charging? What are you charging for? Let's find one metric. And that metric was a 60-minute facial, because that's pretty standard. Most people, regardless of are they spa or are they corrective, they have some kind of 1 hour mark. Okay. So I wanted to understand, what are people charging per hour? And this very unofficial Facebook poll yielded these results.
I'm dying to know.
52% said $76 to $100.
That seems so
for
cheap.
An hour. 36% said $100 to $125. And 9% said under $75.
Shut up. Can I get their number? I'm just kidding.
But one person said this this posting has made me realize I need to raise my prices.
Yeah.
But it was just about gathering information. So then I posted another question. What are the reasons for not raising your prices? And I asked 3 questions and asked them to vote. 48% said, I'm not sure how to raise them. 48% said, I'm afraid to upset my clients. And 3% said, I haven't gotten to it yet. 1% said, because of my demographic.
Wow. So that is very personal responses, not analytical responses to your question.
Well, let's talk about why you should raise prices. The first reason why you should raise your prices is because you're worth it, right, Tracy?
That's right.
Yeah, so you're worth it. You're worth raising
it.
your prices. And that is something that I had struggled with previously of like feeling the struggle of self-worth versus charging. Not anymore, let me tell you.
Listen, no one's out there to do public service. I mean, that's the thing, right? You're a business owner. Act like it.
That's where estheticians go wrong. And I think that says a lot about who estheticians
I know.
are. They are emotional people,
They're
nurturers.
lovers.
They
lovers.
are not separating themselves from the business. And I think that's what those percentages indicate.
Oh, they definitely
And
did.
I think that 52%, the $76 to $100, I bet those people have never had a price increase. Like if I think back to when I was at first an esthetician, a 60-minute facial was like about $60. So if you look at this 52%, that's a $76 to $100, those people probably have opened up shop and never thought about increasing their price again.
But they have been getting price increases. I can guarantee it on product, on leasing space, on so many things. That's, as a business lady, that is so hard for me to hear, people. It really is. It is very hard for me to hear. Like,
Again,
it is.
unofficial poll, but I think,
I know.
as Maggie said, that's a really, really good thought, right? Just because they're tied, they're not separating business from themselves. And so I think that's why it's important to understand that you are worth that much. And the second one is you are a business. That
you
there
are a business.
or you're separate from your business, but you're running a business. And if you think about raising your prices, you will be able to invest in your business and make your business better.
And be able to give your clients more and better. I mean, if you're doing that, you can actually even, if your clients, let's say, are asking for blah, blah, blah treatment or this newest modality or whatever, how are you ever going to be able to deliver that to them if you are not investing back into your business by raising your prices? I mean, come on. If you need to think about it like you are caretakers and you are givers and you want to give results to your clients, then think about it like that.
Hey guys, stop. Let's take a quick break. Elibona, Australian born, globally loved. Elibona's story is simple. They love lashes and brows. They shoot for the stars and lift lashes to new heights. Their addiction is real, their passion is popping, and there is nothing more they crave than offering excellence, service, and innovation in products. Elibona Lash Lift allows you to offer your customers luscious, lifted lashes that can last up to 12 weeks in one safe 20-minute treatment. Learn more at elibona-usa.com.
Let's get back to the conversation.
Another reason that this is from a lot of digging too, that I found reasons why you should raise your prices is because it boosts your perceived value and your reputation. People want the best and they want to get into you. If you're not booked, if you don't have any openings, for example, like
When you have to wait 2 weeks or a month?
6 weeks for me. Like I'm 6 weeks out.
Oh, perceived value over there is
Yeah,
high.
and
is
I say
is
that.
what she's saying over there, Maggie?
That's
I think
what she's
so.
saying, yeah.
I think so.
I'm booked out. Once you get in on my schedule, it's easier for you to stay in on my loop, which is another selling factor for me. But getting in is hard. That's the perceived value. And that's why, I mean, honestly, you guys, I don't charge enough, but that's why I charge the prices I charge. And then people who are in understand that. And that is what has elevated my reputation.
I think that all makes tons of sense.
And in fact, that was one of the comments. It was so funny, like all the different responses that were on there. They were all amazing. And a lot of people, when it felt that that emotional side that you're talking about, Maggie, they were like, well, I charge this much and this much. And I'm like, is that for a 60-minute? No, that's for, they wanted to explain their process. And no, that's for this kind and that's for that kind and that's for this kind. And one of them charged $275 for 90 minutes.
Yeah, I've had a $275 facial.
Do you go back?
Nope, I sure didn't.
Okay.
I didn't care for it. It wasn't really, no, I mean, honestly, I didn't, there, again,
The value wasn't there.
the value wasn't there, but I mean, the way it was advertised and the way it was promoted and what I thought I was going to get from it, I paid it. I made the appointment. So,
Well, then this is not related to that comment, but the other reason that you should raise your prices is to weed out difficult clients.
I am not a difficult client. I'm just a little wishy-washy.
I've had difficult clients and I don't book them.
Yeah. But it is
super busy for a long time.
No, I get it. Maybe that's what people are doing. No, I didn't go back to them. They didn't fire me. I have been fired before, though.
Really?
That's a whole nother podcast.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I almost got fired this week from
Do
somebody.
you want to go through all the different professionals who have fired me in my life as a consumer?
Coming soon.
Let's not.
So then I got on Gloss Genius, which was I didn't get on Gloss Genius. They had an interesting article because I weeded through so many different articles to find what was the most relevant information to bring, especially to this podcast. And this is one that answered kind of a lot of the questions from that very unofficial Facebook poll. And the first one is, how do you figure how much to raise your prices? So the first question is, what is my base price? And to get your base price, you have to do what Tracy was talking about. You have to look at all of your business's monthly expenses, not just how much does it cost me to do this treatment or this service.
And if you want to do that, quick promotional plug, you can actually do that very easily in ASCPskincare.com if you're a member and go to the career toolkits and there's a calculator and it asks you questions just like TurboTax. Okay, continue.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So you can put in things like rent,
Yep.
electricity,
Yes. It asks you all those questions.
products, the
Yep.
tools replacing it. I literally had a Maglite break on a client that not on top of them, near them. Thank goodness I was covered.
Yeah.
But it broke near them and I had to that day get a overpriced Maglite, to go to that.
That happens.
But everything else that you need, consider all of those things that it takes to keep the lights on and the doors open. Next, look at the average number of clients you are seeing currently per month to calculate your base. Not what you want, but what you currently have.
And we actually have a calculator for that too. Did you know that? And it's called the revenue calculator. So it'll help you figure out what you'll make for the week, for the year, based on the number of services, based on the cost per service and how many you want to do. And if you don't like the answer, then you keep going back, but it'll tell you exactly what you need to do.
I did not know that. I wish I had that.
Surprise.
I'm going to try that out.
You should go try it out.
Make sure I'm priced right.
Yeah. And why don't you post your answers on Instagram?
I will comment on Instagram if I'm just going to do
Take
thumbs
a
up or
picture of
thumbs
it.
down.
Oh, okay. No, I don't really like thumbs up or thumbs down. That's crap.
Do you want them to see all my business?
No, I want to yeah, I do.
Okay.
No. And they do too.
Okay.
They want to know how much you price for your facials.
You want to know how much my rent is?
Yeah,
Okay.
they do.
Question number 2 is, what are other professionals charging in my area? This is something you talked about they were doing in school.
Yeah. Know your competition.
Know your competition. Understand what your area's average household income is. So that goes to that one person who said that it didn't work for her demographic to raise her prices. But that way you're not undervaluing yourself. You have to understand, like we talked about in Denver, all of the people who posted those prices, myself included, are underpriced for
That is nuts.
Yeah. Research other independent pros around you and what they charge and see what's going on. And don't aim for the bottom. Aim for the middle or higher.
Aim for the top, people, because it's perceived value. Just saying.
Well, how to understand that? Am I lower or higher in that range?
Mm-hmm.
Goes to question number 3. So
Ooh.
question number 3 is, does my pricing reflect where I am in my career?
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I love that.
Whether you're just starting out or you've been in it for years, think about how your pricing reflects all of these experiences and training you've had up until now, which is interesting because Tracy, we talked about this a while back on the difference between aesthetic industry and the hair industry,
Mm-hmm.
where the hair industry, the longer you've been in service or the more up the chain
they keep ticking you up.
there's like an apprentice
Yeah.
and a master level, but there's not an apprentice or a master level esthetician.
That's interesting.
What do you think about that?
In some states there is esthetician and master esthetician, but generally
That's
speaking,
true.
yeah, you're right. And I think this is where continuing education for estheticians becomes so important. and you have to show all of those certificates. People post them on their wall. You see it on their website, their bio. And I think the consumer is aware of that too.
I love that so much, Maggie. Like I do. Like you go into a doctor's office, dentist's office. Do you see all their certificates hanging on the wall? You sure do.
My walls aren't that big. I'm just kidding.
Oh my Lord. But boom. Yeah. But that is that level of master esthetician,
I
right?
don't want to come off as arrogant. I'm just teasing.
No, you're not.
But I do share those things.
No, just kidding.
I do share the excitement though with my clients. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to a training. They love when I take time off and I'm going to like a trade show or a class. I'm taking a class. They love that because they come back and can I try this on you? Or I'm trying a new product. They love to be a part of that. And I can't believe my esthetician just got this certification, whether you're doing like brow lamination or advanced exfoliation, whatever those things are, those are exciting for you as a practitioner, but also for your client base.
Yeah. And I think you should demand more money.
I think too, it builds trust with your clients. You know, like you're saying, you're telling them that you're taking this training. Can you try it out on them? Or they want to know all about it. That's building the rapport. I think that's important.
I think so too. And I think that you can be proud. So when we're talking about self-worth earlier, like be proud that you've done those things, not necessarily to post them on your wall if you want to, but otherwise reflect that in your pricing.
Yeah. And I mean, everybody wants to be proud of the professionals that they affiliate with, like, right? I mean, you want to brag it up, right? Yeah. I think it's great.
Now we get to the dun dun dun.
Oh.
This is the ouch.
Is it a cliffhanger?
This is the one that you were asking about earlier. Is question number 4 is how will I share my price increase with my clients?
That is definitely the dun dun dun.
What's the right approach?
Mhm.
Do you share the news or do you break the news?
I would share the news, I suppose. Or maybe not report the news at all. Just see if you like play a game with them. See if they figure it out. I'm just kidding. That sounds like really unethical. So I'm joking, everyone.
Have you been on the other end of that where you've gone up and like, well, this is a lot more expensive than before?
Yeah, when I went to Wendy's just the other day. No, I'm serious. They didn't update the menu. I'm not joking. And it kind of made me mad. And it was like these boys that were working at the Wendy's drive-in, I think they were a little sketchy. So I wasn't even sure that I believed them that they were charging the right price. I thought that they're like trying to scam some cash from me. But yeah, I didn't like it. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. So
I hated it.
So that goes to like sharing versus breaking. Have you had that experience, Maggie, where you're like, you've gone somewhere and you're like, wait a minute, or?
I haven't been blindsided like Tracy's talking about, but I definitely have had companies send out the newsletters saying, hey, guess what? Our prices are increasing. And they provide the whole explanation. I don't know. I'm pretty cynical. So my reaction is, yeah, here it comes.
How do you feel now, like this year? Do you feel the same cynicism?
Always. That will never go away.
Yeah,
but,
I was just laughing. We said, no, I know
my perspective with this year is that everybody's expecting it from every company now. And so, the whole point of this podcast is this is the time to do it. Don't shy away from it. And your clients are going to expect it. And don't feel like you can't raise your prices or that you shouldn't announce it. And absolutely, you are facing it from your landlord, your manufacturers, et cetera. And so now present this to your clients and don't present it
like you feel bad for yourself.
Yes.
Or like, and don't present it like being a softie, like, well, for you, just this one facial. I'm gonna keep it the old way, because it becomes a slippery slope. They're gonna want a negotiation and a deal for the rest of your life. Just like own it, take the big bite, and then swallow, and then you're out of there.
I think for me, one of the things that I did, I wish I would have done it a little bit later, but in anticipating the rising costs, I did it in December for January. So I said, hey, just so you know. So because I'm on like a 2 to 8 week cycle with my clients, I started in early November. Just so you know, at the beginning of the year, we're going to be raising, it's just me now. I still say we, like me and my other personality, that I'm going to increase the prices. And do you know what it is? I do know what it is. So some people got in twice before that happened, but prices will be increasing on this January 1st. And so I didn't offer some of those one-time discounts I used to have this OG client discount that I would give people. And I didn't do that this time. This was the first time I didn't do that.
I think that's good, because I think you get spoiled. I remember when I got cut off from an OG discount scenario
Yeah.
because it has to end at some point. And I remember feeling like,
Not the insider track.
yeah.
anymore.
And then it almost made me like not want to go there anymore.
I kind
Yeah.
of like the idea
Because
though,
again, I'm wishy-washy.
that you're saying it's going to be coming up at this point. You can still get in until this point at the lower price,
Mhm.
you know? And
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I time that because sometimes in December, later December, we're slower. So I timed it like that,
that's smart.
anticipating that. And if nothing else, they would come in and get product. Don't forget. And I didn't send out a newsletter.
I don't think
because-
sending out, because I think everyone's a skeptic. Either
Yeah.
they don't read it or they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better to have the conversation.
So how much are you going to raise? I don't know. Aim for 10%. See what happens. What are your thoughts?
I think 10% is a great place to start, but I'm going to just circle back to, Ella, what you were saying when you were talking about analyzing your business, taking a look at what the costs are, taking a look at, and it doesn't have to be a special number. It doesn't have to be like, oh, it's 10%, it's 20%. This is a great time just to overall analyze your whole menu of how you're pricing something. And like you said, what are your competitors doing? Look at the whole thing right now, because I would be shocked if everyone is doing that on an annual basis.
And it's a good time to implement that annual thought process. Would you say?
Yes.
Maybe there's a bigger jump now in 2022, hopefully second quarter 2022, no later than third quarter, and then make an annual thing of it, whether it's your spa's birthday, your shop's birthday,
Yeah.
or some kind of amount.
And maybe it's 3% then, but you're going to get them in the habit.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a big one, but then next year, 3%.
And if nothing else, you're keeping up with annual inflation.
Yeah.
And staying marketable and honestly staying open.
It's about, bottom line, I think that's a perfect place to end. It's about staying open.
It's about staying open.
It's about staying open.
Now, listeners, we really want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on raising your prices? Is 2022 your year? And how are you doing it? Let us know. Reach out on our social media platforms, especially Instagram and Facebook, or by emailing getconnected@ascpskincare.com. We want to know all the details. In the meantime, thank you for listening to ASCP Esty Talk. For more information on this episode, or for ways to connect with Maggie or myself, or to learn more about ASCP, check out the show notes. And stay tuned for the next episode of ASCP Esty Talk.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like what you hear and you want more, subscribe. If you want to belong to the only all-inclusive association for estheticians that includes professional liability insurance, education, industry insights, and an opportunity to spotlight your 6 skills, join at ascpskincare.com. Only $259 per year for all this goodness. ASCP knows it's all about you.